The last days of Katherine Parr. Katherine Parr became Queen of England and Ireland in a unique way. She was the last of King Henry VIII's 6 wives, ruling alongside him from their wedding on the 12th of July 1543 until his death on the 28th of January 1547. Katherine held the title of Queen Consort longer than any other wife of Henry VIII, and she even outlived him by over a year. Interestingly, Katherine holds a record for the most marriages among English queens. She had 4 husbands in total, and she achieved a remarkable feat for her time. She was the first woman in England to publish an original book in English under her own name. Shortly before the passing of Henry VIII, her husband, Henry made arrangements for Katherine's financial support, allocating £7,000 per year. He also stipulated that after his death, Katherine should receive the honours and treatment befitting a Queen of England. Following the coronation of her stepson Edward VI on the 31st of January 1547, Katherine withdrew from court and settled at her home in Old Manor, Chelsea. After Henry's demise, Katherine's former love interest and the new king's uncle, Thomas Seymour, returned to court. Katherine readily accepted Seymour's renewed proposal of marriage. However, knowing that it had only been 4 months since Henry's death, Seymour understood that the Regency Council would likely oppose their marriage at such an early stage. In late May, Katherine and Seymour married secretly. Their union remained undisclosed to King Edward VI and the council for several months, causing some scandal when it eventually came to light. Both the King and Lady Mary were displeased by the marriage. At 35 years old, Katherine found herself unexpectedly pregnant, which came as a surprise since she had not conceived during her previous 3 marriages. Around this time, Seymour began showing interest in Lady Elizabeth. There were rumours that Seymour had intentions to marry Elizabeth before Katherine, and it was later reported that Katherine caught them in an embrace. In June 1548, Katherine, accompanied by Lady Jane Grey, relocated to Sudley Castle in Gloucestershire. The Queen Dowager pledged to provide education for Lady Jane Grey, and it was there that Katherine spent the final months of her pregnancy and the last summer of her life. On the 30th of August 1548, Katherine gave birth to her only child, a daughter named Mary Seymour, in honour of Katherine's stepdaughter, Mary. Tragically, Katherine passed away on the 5th of September 1548 at Sudley Castle, likely due to childbed fever, a common illness stemming from poor hygiene during childbirth. The Queen took her last breath at Sudley Castle. Standing from one of the windows of the castle, your gaze sweeps across the manicured gardens, the vibrant hues a stark contrast to the stillness that would have hung heavy in the air that day. Perhaps you imagine a flicker of movement, a flash of silk catching the sunlight as Katherine Parr, the Dowager Queen, disappears behind a hedge. But such visions offer a fleeting glimpse into a life cut tragically short. For within these walls a shadow fell upon Katherine, a darkness that would extinguish the vibrancy of her days. The joy of childbirth, with the arrival of their daughter Mary on the 31st of August 1548, was quickly eclipsed by a chilling reality. Katherine succumbed to the dreaded puerperal fever, a merciless illness that lurked in the shadows of childbirth in the 16th century. Unlike today, where antibiotics offer a shield against such infections, the cause of the fever remained a mystery. It was a silent enemy, striking with a vengeance. The initial 3 days offered a false sense of security, only to be shattered by a sudden onset of chills, a pounding headache, and a bone-chilling cold. This swiftly transformed into a feverish inferno, leaving Katherine parched and drenched in sweat. The relentless torment soon shifted to the core of her being. A dull ache in her abdomen morphed into a searing agony. A relentless assault that stole her breath and stole her sleep. Any flicker of hope that this might be a fleeting discomfort was extinguished as her belly swelled, a grotesque parody of childbirth. The attendant physician, powerless against an unseen enemy, could only offer meagre comfort. The infection, unchecked, ravaged her body like a wildfire. Her heart hammered in her chest, a frantic drumbeat against the encroaching silence. Weakness draped itself over, leaving her listless and indifferent, a stark contrast to the vibrant woman that she once was. And the telltale signs of death painted themselves across her face, a tongue, once vibrant, now coated in a sickly white, and a vacant stare that spoke volumes of the internal battle raging within. The struggle for breath became a desperate fight, punctuated by bouts of nausea and the indignity of uncontrollable diarrhea and painful urination. In the face of death, even the most basic bodily functions turned into a cruel betrayal. For 5 agonizing days, Katherine battled the relentless tide of infection, but the human body, no match for such a merciless foe, began to succumb. One by one, her organs faltered, overwhelmed by the relentless assault. In the early hours of the 5th of September 1548, the silence in the chamber deepened, a chilling testament to the final victory of fever. The vibrant queen, the woman who navigated the treacherous court of Henry VIII, lay still, a victim of a silent enemy. The aftermath was a muted affair. Katherine's body was wrapped in cerecloths, a rudimentary embalming technique surprisingly effective in preserving her remains. A ceremony steeped in the Protestant faith she passionately embraced saw her laid to rest in a nearby chapel. It was a simple affair, conducted in English, a remarkable departure from tradition and a testament to her unwavering beliefs. With this act, Katherine became the first English queen to receive a Protestant burial. Encased in her lead coffin, Katherine lay undisturbed for years as seasons turned and dynasties shifted. Her husband, Thomas Seymour, met a similar fate just months later, executed for treason. Little Mary Seymour faded from historical records, her fate shrouded in mystery. Slowly, those who loved Katherine, her siblings, friends, and family, succumbed to the passage of time, their stories swallowed by the relentless march of history. Standing by the window now, the vibrant gardens offer a poignant counterpoint to the tragedy that unfolded within those walls. Though the echoes of Katherine's footsteps may have faded, her story remains. A stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unwavering strength of human spirit in the face of the unknown.